help you.
And then let me tell you what's the unfairness to the whole side of this story. Now, if you got people on this side shooting and you see the truck shot up, you got the people that's in the truck only because a life was lost. But you didn't make no arrest to the ones that was at this lady's house because the only reason why the little boy is dead is due to the company that was at his house in his yard. Like his friends, his own company is the reason why he's not here. And they know that somebody from their house was shooting, and they know names because I gave them names. I gave them addresses. I even went to some of the people's houses and I went to the police station and I gave the police the names and the numbers. And guess what they did? Absolutely nothing. They refused to make any arrest. And like I said, it should be, if you're going to arrest one side, then be fair. Arrest everybody. You arrest everybody.
I agree with that.
Everybody that was mentioned or everybody that you can see and everybody that you know took part in it. All parties are supposed to be locked up. And I've been asking since day one, whoever shot my truck up, I want them arrested since day one. Want me to tell you why? Because when I seen my son, first I was mad about my truck. But then when I seen my son, I had to cry because I could have lost my son too. And I had to put it together then. And like I said, the police said, well, why your son didn't come to the station? Why your son didn't come right then? Why your son didn't come? And I told my son, I said, you're going to pay for this truck. I didn't know where it happened. I said, well, you pay for the truck. And I told him he wasn't going to be able to drive nothing else that belonged to me. But that police make it like, oh, it's a cover up and this and that. No, the truck that was in this incident was already sold. Like it was sold. It was somebody else's truck, and I had to get it fixed. So they said, well, why you get the truck fixed? What do you mean? Like it wasn't ours. We had to get it fixed. And then they said, well, why he turned this way? Have you ever been shot at before? No. How do you know which way you gonna turn when you get shot at? Why is it a certain way you have to go when somebody is trying to take your life? You don't know where you're gonna go. And like I told the police or anybody, for the matter of fact, if anybody's shooting at me and I'm in my vehicle and definitely in Rocky Mount, you better be strapped.
Well, sister, I want, before we get to these questions,
yes,
I want to touch on something. It might be a little deep for you, but I don't know what you're trying to say. And the reason why I know you, I feel your pain. I've been knowing y'all almost all my life. We ran the streets. You used to talk to my man and everything.
Yeah.
But I think people need to know how you feel. They're like, why is this girl crying so much? This sister, a couple years ago, do you feel like telling a story about your other son? Huh? Because people need to know your story. Can you tell them what happened to your other son?
Well, anybody that know me, I have a son. His name is Nigel Dejoy Jones.
That's right.
He was my first son. And April the 8th, 2016, somebody shot him in the head and took his life. And Jahir is my baby boy. And the reason why I'm so emotional and so upset is because I already got one that's in the grave due to the kids in Rocky Mount.
That's right.
Shot him, and he not here. And that's why when the police came and asked for my son, I told them that I know my son didn't do this because we still grieving the loss of my oldest son. And they keep saying rap and this rap and rap. But my son is aspiring to be a rapper. I told them he has a lot of views on YouTube. You know, he want to make it big. So they hollering rap is the reason why they doing what they doing. But my son is rapping, I guess, to ease his pain and to help him along. And then they keep saying that NLG is a gang. NLG is a gang. My son's name was Nigel. And NLG means Nalot Gang. Nalot Gang is a love that we got for Nigel. That's the love he got for his brother. And they done took my son, and I guess because they see my son with dreads. I guess that because they know my other son, Nigel, I guess because they know his lifestyle or whatever, and they trying to tie that in with my baby boy. But like I told him, if you know Jahir, I done got letters from his supervisors. I got his school papers here where he never been in trouble, nothing but the 12th grade. He was fighting in the bathroom, high school. But before my son walked out of there, this is National Honor Society. My son graduated with high grades, high honors. Like, he's not that type of child. And like I said, at the end of the day, he was called out to pick a friend up. His friend asked him to come pick him up. When he went to pick him up, this is what occurred. It all was in a 1, 2, 3 incident. And like I said, when they found out my son didn't kill nobody and my son wasn't a murderer, I don't know what the charge could be for driving, because I drive, he drive. I don't know what the charge could be, but he didn't murder anybody. And once the police knew this, and they still know this with evidence, facts, lawyers, everybody showing this, they're still trying to hold my son for murder.
So your son basically picked somebody up. They asked for a ride. He went to go pick him up. And when he picked him up, they ended up riding by this house.
Yes.
So he wasn't in the car with your son originally. He asked for a ride.
Right.
Your son came and gave him a ride.
Right.
And wherever they was driving, these guys just started shooting at the car.
Right.
Wow.
Thank you, Greg, for breaking that down. And another thing, people, you gotta understand, for being black, it costs to be black. We are stereotyped of being crazy people, whatever, animals, whatever you want to say. And the thing about that, do you know how many blacks have been locked up over the years for rape, for murder, and just now coming home from prison because they found that they were innocent? But now we have the right to change that in Rocky Mount because it's predominant 63% black. Everything that we sit on, we change the color to black. So what I'm telling y'all to get off your butt and dig this out and get this boy home to his mother. You already got a conviction of another brother, a real strong black young man, and took ownership and said, I done it. You ain't gonna get that nowhere. That don't come by every day. That don't come by every day. That don't come by every day. And y'all got that, and y'all said, okay, he said that. Let me go.
See, it's even deeper than that, because now the police have evidence that, and my lawyer have evidence that the little boy was shot from the back of his head to the front of his head, which means that.
Hold up. Huh? Hold up, people. I want you to hear this. If you shooting at somebody driving down the street, if I'm shooting at somebody and I gotta hit him in the forehead, he gonna fall back. Now, if somebody return fire and shoot the guy in the back of the head, that means somebody behind him shooting. So that means that you trying to blame these boys that shooting first. That like this game, like I'm trying to tell you, they said about the President Kennedy, the bullet that killed President Kennedy, it was a magic bullet. Ain't no bullet gonna shoot straight and then curve back and hit you in the back of the head. You got some military shit going on here.
So hold on. So you saying that the little boy, they driving in front of them.
Yes.
And the boy that got killed, the bullet hit him in the back of the head?
Yeah, see, on the video, when they riding by the house, and this is why I said the police is full of it. When you riding past somebody's house and your window is down, my son is on the driver's side, his window is down. He passed this lady's house. He passed it. Anybody that's gonna shoot at somebody intentions, they gonna start shooting, or they gonna shoot you. Why you right here where I'm at, I'm gonna shoot you if I'm meaning to shoot you. You see my son drive down past her house. I don't know if what made him turn was the bullets or whatever, but you see my son turn. Even into the turn, it puts the truck to the front and the whoever in the back seat to the side of the little boy. So like I told him, I said, well, if the little boy was shot from the front, then it would be the two kids on the front street that was walking this way. If the little boy was shot from the left of his body to the right of his body, that came from my truck. Anything else, I can't explain it to you.
Wow.
The autopsy shows this little boy was shot from the back of his head, and it came out the front of his head, which means when they were standing in her door, sprayers trying to shoot my truck up, they hit their own friend and killed their own friend. So because they're young and I keep talking to the police and I tell them that nobody in my truck killed this little boy, it's not possible. And even Issa Jihad, this poor baby probably nervous and probably want to help my son so much. He go in there and say self-defense, but he didn't even do it. This little boy was shot from the back. So then I asked the police department and the supervisor and my lawyer. So what did they do? You said Issa got out the truck, went behind, got on this lady porch, got in the line, got behind this little boy and shot him, because the only way this little boy can receive a bullet to the back of his head is whoever was behind him trying to shoot at my truck, and they young, they don't have no aim, they don't know what's going on. So the bullet probably ricocheted either from him into my truck, or however it went about. But the thing about it is the police know that this little boy was shot from the back of his head and it came out the front of his head. So who shot him? While you still holding Issa Jihad and Jahir Jones for murder? Who killed them? Rocky Mount Police Department?
Wow, listen.
Who killed them?
Breaking news.
Who killed them?
Breaking news. Y'all gotta get that. Hey, NAACP, you done heard it from the mother's mouth.
You ain't with that.
What I'm trying to say,
They ain't doing
it
that.
need to go on the state level, it need to go on national level, this need to be put on national TV. We got some corruption going on here in Rocky Mount. We got some corruption. You need to bring the big guns down here, because if that autopsy show that boy got shot in the back of the head, everybody that shoot guns, everybody know how to shoot far. That means that somebody from behind him shot that boy. And then you got an innocent man going there and say, I don't want to kill him.
Right.
Whoa.
Right.
Whoa, y'all in trouble.
Right.
Y'all in trouble. Why would y'all now? I let him go. I wouldn't even hold that no more. I get him up out of there.
My thing is, when you got NAACP, they supposed to represent the black people, but how
They're
when you
not.
got two fake city council members
Fake.
sitting in the city council, okay, supposed to be pastors, and these dudes is not doing nothing for the black people, and they got the audacity to tell you they can't help.
I'm gonna say something. The city council don't care, because I go to the city council meeting with Sam Rock. And before I got in there, I was just standing there and I was just waiting in line. And I heard the city council lady say,
Miss Oris.
I want to hear what's stupid they gonna say next. What's dumb? What's the next?
Wow.
The third president, Miss Oris.
Why I came in here? Cause I just wanted to see who gonna say what the next stupidest thing out their mouth. And I was standing there like, oh my God! For one, you're on the NAACP. You supposed to be helping us. You supposed to be for us. We're not stupid. We're not dumb.
I'm not making this up.
We have issues. We have concerns. You have a pastor that walk in the NAACP that done declared that the chief of police don't care. He's not going to help us. He's not for us. He's not going to do nothing for us. Then you have a lady that's on the NAACP says she there to see what we going to say stupid.
Miss Oris.
Stupid next. I mean, that just took the life and the wind out of my body, because these are real life issues. And when we voted for y'all, and we check y'all names off, and we come to y'all Ward 4 City Council, because that's what ward I'm in, and not a Ward 4 City Council member.
You in Ward 4.
I'm in
Well,
Ward 4.
who's
That's
the
TJ
head of
Walker.
That's TJ.
That's TJ. You heard, reach out to him?
Everybody, the whole panel.
So what was his reply, or the councilman of Ward 4?
You love that,
What
don't
was
you?
their reply when you reached out to them?
Do your plants in here talk? Cause they pretty. Do your plants in here talk? Cause
Wow.
they real pretty.
Boy.
See, that's what I'm
They
saying.
real pretty.
You got the four-headed horsemen sitting up there, city council members that vote to enrich certain city council members, but we not on them today.
Nah.
We trying to help this sister to get her word out, because she's not getting any help from these so-called city council members, and also the NAACP, who is supposed to be for black people. But the crazy thing is, you got one who's supposed to be on the NAACP that sits on the city council, who constantly complaining about race. How can you complain about race when you're doing what you're doing to your own ward? You're stealing money from the wards to enrich yourselves. And then you got the other three clowns who support you with their vote, knowing that you're not going to do nothing for your wards and they not going to do nothing for theirs.
Right.
So you have to sit back and look when it comes election time. Get all of them clowns out of there. Even the other three
Everybody.
who sit back, who
Everybody.
don't open their mouth, and they know what these guys is doing, and instead of them complaining or putting it out in the public, they sit back and say nothing.
And crime in Rocky Mount is a problem. We are losing our young black men left and right. They being found dead in cars. They being found dead outside their homes with their clothes down. They being found dead just in areas. And I mean, it's just, the crime is bad. Like, it's out of control.
Every week, somebody getting shot or killed in this city. Every week.
Safety public safety.
I'm
Good.
here.
All right. So it's about time we wrap this up. And it's a shame, people. Hope y'all pay attention to this. And we gotta support this sister, man.
So-
Cause she out here fighting.
Yes, we're gonna ask some brief questions. This might be part 2 anyway, but we're gonna ask these brief questions right now. Now, Shante, we want you to we want you to answer this. Has any member of the city council contacted you about this situation?
No. Only thing I received was a letter stating that they couldn't help me.
Wow. Do you feel that the police did a thorough investigation of the murder?
No, they didn't do no investigation.
Wow.
They didn't do no investigation. And the reason why I say they did not do no investigation, because everything that the police have, I gave it to them.
Right.
Okay. How many times you tried to contact the city council about this? Who is your councilman that represent your ward where you live?
Well, I just reached out again to a councilman, and like I said, he wanted to go talk to my lawyer. I didn't ask to talk to the lawyer. I asked to talk to the chief of police because he was the one that could take me to the chief of police. And I'm in Ward 4, and to speak for Ward 4, nobody has reached out from Ward 4 to help me, to assist me, to guide me, to do anything. The only thing they say is that they can't interfere with the police department, but I've learned from being in these streets and in my studies is that the NWACP is in charge and over the Rocky Mount Police Department.
Mm.
When the person confessed to the shooting, were you contacted by any police department, the police chief, the DA, anybody?
No.
Mm.
No, I told them that he was on his way, and it was self-defense. And like I said, they never, like, when they went through there, they was just going through there. They never meant for none of this to happen. You can't help what happened when you ride past somebody's house. But one thing I know, that Issa Jahar and Jahir Jones is innocent. You could go anywhere that you want to go in Rocky Mount, whether it's by bike, whether it's by boat, by plane, by car, however way you travel. Nobody has the right to shoot at you, and it's wrong that you get shot at and you get put in jail for murder, and then they have the evidence that the little boy was shot in the back of the head and it came out the front, so they know one of his friends did it, but they want to cover up everything, and they don't want it to get out, and they don't want it to come out. That's why they said stop going to the city council meetings, stop talking to the police department. They don't care. I'm gonna make it worse for my son. How can I make it worse for fighting for my son when my son is innocent, but it's not worse on the judge? They got a whole drug area that's open 24/7, all day, all night. He just is guilty. You want to do guilty by association, and then if you want to do guilty by association, and I know we press for time, go lock up everybody. The ones on this side that was in the yard, and you already got who would supposedly be in my truck. That's fairness. Practice the law.
That's true.
Practice the
Okay.
law.
Have you tried to contact the NWAC? What have they said, or tried to do to support you during this time?
I don't get nothing from the NWACP. I don't get anything, nothing. I just told they said I could go talk to my lawyer. I talk to Jahir lawyer all the time. Those not the people I need to talk to.
My question is, how has all of this impacted your life And what do you miss the most about your son?
Well, it has impacted me because my son got locked up December the 2nd. My birthday was December the 5th. My
Right before
granddaughter.
your birthday. Wow.
Yeah. My granddaughter, she was born January the 22nd. He missed the birth of her. Then, like I said, his birthday was June the 5th. He turned 21 in there. Father's Day, and not only that, like my tears are because my son is really innocent. But Rocky Mount Police Department has labeled him as a murderer. You done defame my son's character. If he wanted to go out here and get a job, it'll be hard for him to maintain a job out here because you don't put him across the TV. You already have labeled him without going to get proof, evidence, and facts, and what happened to innocent until proven guilty. You already put my son as a murderer, and my son hadn't killed nobody. That's why I said that leaves rooms for kids to harass the other family members. You know, want to hurt the other family members, kill the other family members. It put these kids in the street against each other. Like, you really hurt us more than you help us. And for one, if you didn't know that it was true, it shouldn't have went this far as it went.
That's right. Okay. Why do you think has been the result from the NAACP and the city council and not full support and encouragement from those leaders?
I feel like the whole city council, the next voting, when it come along, that I'm gonna have ballots and I'm gonna pass out papers, and every one of them gonna say do not vote for anybody that we presently have now on city council because they're not for us. You have to do more than put on your suit and put on your dress and your high heels and your makeup and your earrings and your cologne and go up there and take your seat on that platform. Woo! You got to put work in the community. Woo! You got to help your people. You got to come out here in the street. You're not getting paid a salary just for us to come in there and get 3 minutes when really it's more than 3 minutes of problems in the city of Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Oof. I feel the smoke.
I do too.
It's more than 3 minutes. It's a problem. We have a problem in Rocky Mount. And they need to investigate the police department. They need to get rid of the NAACP. And we need to do a full investigation into our young boys that are already locked up in jail. And then when I finish fighting for my son, I'm coming for the well-being of Nash County Jail and the facility or how y'all have it, because just because they're in jail don't mean that they got to live like they out here in the field somewhere with a roof over top of their head. No, it's living conditions in there also. And then also when I finish fighting for my son, I would like to set up a GoFundMe, and it's going to be in support of those, because let me tell you something, when you're black and you don't have money, you will sit there and you will go to jail.
Right.
But when you got money and you can afford to feed the lawyers and the judges what they want, cause all they want is money, then you see they on the street. Because I know murderers right now that's on the street. I know child molesters right now that's on the street. I know drug dealers with keys and keys of heroin and fentanyl that's on the street. But when you're broke and you don't have what it takes or what it costs to get out, and the judge, you know, good well with COVID-19 just passing, don't nobody have $100,000 cash when Biden was just sending out $600 checks, $700 checks, $1,400 checks. People wasn't even going to work. $400,000. Well, where your bun at, Judge? Where's your bun? When they coming for you?
Woo! Hey,
My
yo,
last
man.
question
Can I shout? Can I hold the plug?
Go ahead, baby.
No, I ain't do what the pastors do. Go ahead, man.
The pastor thank you, man.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if your son is released, what changes would you like to see within the leadership or organizations that are supposed to help and support the people?
The changes I would like to see is, for one, it started with Rocky Mount Police Department. And the change I would like to really start with is guilty by association. Just because one person do something, that don't mean that everybody else is tied into it. Everybody don't have a finger into it. And then when I get my son out, I don't want him to be in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, because you can't control the kids. You can't do nothing with the kids. And I already lost the son. And it's sad that Rocky Mount Police Department and the DAs and the lawyers have the truth, and they want to sentence my son for the rest of his life to jail in a prison for a crime that he didn't commit. So I'm gonna fight for us what the NAACP supposed to be doing. We need to clear that whole board off and get people like us that's gonna stand up for us and fight for us.
That's right. Did you have you reached out to Robert Evans of the district attorney?
They won't let you talk to him. They won't let you talk to Robin Evans. They won't let you talk to Keith Stone. They won't let you talk to these people. They say it's no good. It's hard to get in contact with them, and it's hard to reach them.
Hold on, listen. This is what I want. This is what I want people to, not white, not black, whatever. All people are race. If you vote somebody as an elected official, they work for you. That means the sheriff, the district attorney, the city councilman, the mayor, the president, whoever is on that voting ballot, they work for you. So ain't no need talking about I can't get. You didn't say that when you want me to goddamn hustle and vote for you.
Right.
So I'm coming at all of you.
Right.
I'm coming at all of you.
And now with the evidence of them knowing that it's a possibility that the little boy own friend killed him, now it's quiet and it's so hush. And they talking about, oh, now, well, maybe because it was parallel. Parallel, you still ain't gonna get it from the back to straight through the back to the front. That's nowhere near parallel. Like Rocky Mount Police Department, I want y'all to get y'all story together, get y'all facts together, find y'all some truth, get y'all a real case together, and come on with my son.
They on trial.
Come on, yeah, I'm gonna put him on trial.
Well, one thing I wanted to do before I end this show, Shantae, I want you to walk out there and show the people your son picture.
That's crazy, man. So he got hit from the back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got shot from the back of the head, and it came out the front of his head, and that's why when I called and I was talking to them about it, and what's so crazy is because you know what the detectives and the lawyers told me, we already discussed this. We knew that there was a possibility of his own friend could have shot him in the back of his head, and it came out the front of his head. Then I asked them, well, when was you going to tell me the possibility? Because my son been in jail since December the 2nd. Look at that, graduate.
Rocky Mount Senior High.
Rocky Mount Senior High.
Woo, he's a Griffin.
He a Griffin with a future, and he rap. So that's why you see Nalo Gang everywhere. Look at his views. Like my son is aspiring to go somewhere, and I'm not gonna let Rocky Mount Police Department deprive him from that, nor the judge. They got a whole drug ring going on.
And people, I want you to understand this. No, for what's right. Now, if this was a kid, didn't graduate, was out in the street, selling drugs, or doing whatever, you might look at this situation a little different. But when you got a person that graduated, and I ain't saying people graduate don't break the law, but I'm saying when you got a young man that graduated, walked there and got his diploma, you got to look at it. Police got to say, I think we could have made a mistake. We messed somebody's life up, can go somewhere in life. And that's what you try to do, inspire all people, a race, but the black generation is like getting genocide in this community. We are really losing our black kids and our black people to all of this, what's going on in the world. So what I want to end this with, people, Rocky Mount Police Department, the people that voted these people in, it's time us to make a change. And like an older lady told me, it's going to take the millennials and the Generation X people to change the situation we got. These old leaders that been there 20 years, the way they did it 20 years, it don't work no more. So we got to put new blood in the system.
That's right.
And what I'm trying to say now, people, now do you smell what rock is cooking?
That's right.